It's been a while since I've played this game, that's all I have to say. Hey, but hello everyone, my name is Korean Gamer. Welcome back to, welcome to the rerun of Ori and the Blind Forest. I'm planning on replaying through both Ori and the Blind Forest and Will of the Wisps. Now, off screen. Now, although I was planning on 100%ing this save, I decided not to. So effectively, this is going to be, as I wasn't too happy on my first few vids on the game. I was inexperienced, my mind kept wandering, and I wasn't exactly, the best at the game. Plus, although he's not although you can't hear him, Cinder is here watching. And if you have questions, just DM me through Steam if you want, Cinder, if you want. And you know what? Forget it. There we go. Oh. I changed my mind at the last second. And did you not notice I unmuted you? Yeah. Uh,
Uh, I just wanted to say that you can just say Spyro, but yeah, it's fine.
yeah. I'll just have you unmuted. If you have questions, don't be afraid to speak up.
Yeah,
Uh,
I just was watching.
Alright. I will be playing the game again on normal, for the sake
What
of...
is the one life?
Basically, if I die, the save it, I have to start from the beginning. And like that's ever gonna happen. Anyways.
Three worsts. Fuck you, Maris.
Anyways. Oh yeah, make sure to keep an eye on the story as well, that's mentioned. Honestly, it's rather great that I'm replaying the game. I've always been wanting to return back to Will of the Wisps and Blind Forest. Just wanting to bring that up. Like, I am not kidding.
I don't know why, but it's too much. It reminds me
Of what?
Jaconos and Mana. Like the one cutscene with the stray bet.
Yeah. Which... Which I still want to mention as well. You need to get around to uploading the Chimera Land the Invasion vid. Also, Ori won't wake up until I press a key. Just a fun fact.
Is there something right side?
You mean left?
Oh, yeah, left.
No, there isn't.
And now you also brought, right?
Yeah, controlling, in effect, moving with two characters at once. I actually don't remember. I don't know if there's a reason why the trees are marked with that X. That's what I'm curious about.
Oh, come on, you can just jump over.
cutscene, story building, and just to show their little dynamic between each other. I also don't think as well. Yeah, there's nothing to the right as well. You're meant to go left. Yeah.
I think you can't attack on anything.
Yeah. You can't attack right now. No, this is still a cutscene after all. They were of course scared. With Ori mainly not knowing their true purpose, of course. This prologue sequence is mostly just story building and world building to know, what's going on a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyways, I might as well mention a little bit about the game's world building and alongside some of the things. Those purple things I've been encountering throughout a majority of the game is known as decay. Effectively dead plants and creatures. Yeah. Though most of those creatures are infected with what's known as the decay. Effectively the plants as well. They're all petrified and stuff. Anyways, I'll be answering.
And I see it also affected Enaru, that decay,
Yeah.
poison.
Yeah. However, spirits, on the other hand, like Ori here, are a bit more resilient to it. They're effectively just kind of immune to it. This is why decay doesn't seem to affect them. Though fan depiction, yeah. However, fan depictions of the decay, does exist. Is of it affecting spirits.
What the? Can you go back?
Yeah.
Back to that entrance?
Invis wall.
Ah.
Yeah. After all, we're technically in an interactable cutscene, anyways. I'm just slowing down. I just wanted to stop to show that little animation.
Yeah.
I think as well, these are mostly memories that we're seeing.
I guess you can also even jump. Oh.
Yeah, you can.
I saw it right there.
Yeah. That thing we saw, he'll appear again later in the game. And you might have saw him on as well in the part 1 of my old playthrough. Yeah. We sat down and watched bits and pieces of my old playthrough, which I wasn't really that happy with after all.
And you are dead.
Well, yeah. Like before, I mentioned, and they'll be back at the end of the game.
I saw the Ori set face on the split second.
Yeah. And there's Ori's realization. And Cutscene. Once again, another cutscene, interactable cutscene.
Yeah.
You can tell. Yeah. Also. Yeah. The game doesn't even need to tell you about certain prompts. Also, you can't jump during the sequence. I'm pressing space and can't jump. You can also turn around as well. But like before, this is more of a glorified cutscenes. What? Thank you for ruining the cutscene, random glitch. What on earth? Okay, I've played this game for about like a solid few hours. I've never witnessed that before. Or
Go back.
Hmm?
Go back.
Okay, will it trigger again? And so if I walk back, no. I don't know what happened there. I know that was a glitch, but this again. I don't know if it's caused by my monitor or some weird glitch. Of course, like before, keep an eye on what's mentioned.
Yeah.
And um, usually going back doesn't really change anything. The story's linear anyways. I gotta mention, this is a really cool sequence of the spirit tree utilizing the last of its strength to get Ori back up. And Ori is brought back up. And now we have free movement. Of course, we can't go back anymore because that's a death plane.
I guess it deals damage.
Yes. Also, I think that's a glitch again. Okay, I am going to have to verify the game's integrity.
At the home? It really deals damage? Like,
Yes, it does deal damage. It had spikes.
oh.
I have not struggled. I'm trying to jump up. Gosh, I've never struggled that much. Once again, this is more of a tutorial. And once again, I remember. Okay, I think that back there is a glitch. Which, that does not look natural at all. Okay, okay, after this part, I am going to verify integrity. Ow. To make sure... No, spikes. To make sure the game is stable. There isn't fall damage. Just waiting to bring that up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah, you can see I can still mostly remember a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
I'll use my upgrades. So, yeah.
And
Now we have a way of defending ourselves again.
Year of the Beast.
Eh. Want me to continue with the dialogue? After it finish it, have it up on for a few seconds, and then I can continue on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll usually continue after the little audio of the character is done.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I can't believe I got hit by that. Okay, game.
Yeah, I can handle that.
Hmm? Do you have
Yeah,
any... Huh?
I just mute. There we go.
Uh, Let me guess, IRL stuff?
Uh, I just mute the music because, well, yeah.
Oh,
Otherwise I started crying again.
the music of Ori. You muted the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, the Ori music is, like, very impactful, which is why I commonly utilize it. Uh, So, I'm not going to get this one right away, but I'm actually going to get this first. That way I don't have to get to literally touch some collectibles. Alls- It's why I love the Ori music so much. It fits for its environments. They don't feel out of place at all.
Yeah.
Oh, which is why whenever Mana shows up, you can always hear some form of orchestral music play whenever they're nearby.
Artist, artist corruption. I blaming your character Maris for that.
Eh, he doesn't really exist. And I made him, well, like, way later, if you remember, of course. So, yeah. Uh, yeah, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and continue with this.
Yeah.
That's, of course, mentioning how if you save on these, you can and regain any of your abilities.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually mainly going to ignore mainly upgrade a few of these ones. And I am gonna get this one, so I have it. Get these first few ones. These first one here.
So you won't suffer?
Yeah, because they're very useful utility items that help out a lot. Later on, I am going to start upgrading this tree here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, Considering that enemies aren't really that durable. Oh,
I mean, did someone like finish it this game without kill even a single enemy?
well, considering the mandatory fight right off the bat, there's very in terms of the game's enemy roster, it's very minimal. They're not counting enemies that die on their own terms. But when it comes through enemies in particular, enemies usually don't are usually out of the way. You have to go out of your way to fight them most of the time. And even then, you gotta be mindful that AoE that's released that actually damages enemies and can even kill them if positioned correctly. Okay, I didn't run into it on my first playthrough. Uh, I also am unsure if you would consider those little spike things as an enemy.
It all looks much more cooler
What?
when the projectiles were like shoot from the Ori Baron Belly.
Why do you always have your horny nonsense show your weirdness always show up in at least one of my vids, including my normal vids as well? It's insane. Oh my goodness. Is I can move this here so I have an easier time jumping if I need to. Oh wait, I can't wall jump yet. So I kind of have to do some other fancy maneuvers. Yeah. Keep in mind, if you miss any, you can always watch back at the vid.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna... Oh, yeah. Also, you have to have line of sight of the enemy if you want to attack them. And with the spirit flame. Meaning, if Ori can see them, so you can attack them. I created it so I don't have to sit through dialogue again.
Where is your right edge?
We won't get access to it until Will of the Wisps, by the way. Hey, once again, we're kind of stuck with scene here until Will of the Wisps coming around. Okay, I moved there at the perfect timing. Right, don't have that yet.
I even don't know what came with the idea with the dark spirits.
Who? Who, the night spirits?
Yeah.
They're a fan thing. They're a fan made. Hence the nice little bits of differences. So, yeah.
Also, I see the little small gap. I don't know why.
What, up here?
On the life, see?
Yeah, I think that's more of a stylistic choice. I like it, nonetheless. It gives the HUD a unique atmosphere look to it. Plus, I like how the HUD is mostly out of its way. Hey, because after all, it frees up a bunch of space so you can actually see a lot of the animation in detail.
Yeah.
Unlike most games where there's just like stuff all over your screen. I mean, this is why I like a lot of the older games. They're a lot more stylized. They're more free, and also have like really good looking atmosphere as well.
Mm-hmm.
Plus the free flow. Plus, whenever I'm playing as Ori, I have this sort of free flow movement that I don't really feel when I play a lot of other games. I don't know if it's just me or just something involving how Ori moves.
Yeah.
Once again, semi-transparent a platform I can drop through, hence why I was able to attack that enemy. I do believe also. I think next I will get this upgrade because it will allow me to save.
Mm-hmm.
Save again without needing to create one. Effectively, the first 3 abilities you should get should be Spirit Magnet, Rekindle, and then map markers. I generally recommend avoiding the combat-oriented ones until later in the game when enemies start to become more stronger.
How how long is this in the terms of progression?
Well, in terms of progression, the game's story mainly follows a more linear path, and some of the collectibles I did end up missing either because I can't reach them yet, or they're literally in a hazard.
Yeah, but I mean, like the story you will finish when you're like in 10 hours or less.
Eh. And once again, it kind of varies depending on your skill and play style. In a lot of games from my time playing, I've noticed mainly the fact that my play style and time usually varies from game to game. Like longer, more gameplay focused ones usually they are a bit shorter, but more story centric games like Ori here usually are much shorter.
Hmm.
Are much longer because I mainly want to enjoy the story. I mainly get games for a variety of reasons. Like I play Shadow the Hedgehog for mainly its story and gameplay. They
Well, the World Shadow Head to Hedgehog story is like
complicate it.
no, like if you like okay, when I count out to 10 endings, I think it's the 10.
326.
Yeah, but I mean after you like beat outer bosses to break doom, it like takes you like 4 hours total
Well, it depends
to
on if you're
fully to 100% that game.
well, it depends on if you're skipping the cutscenes, of course.
Hmm.
It's because might I add, when it comes to getting a lot of the game's endings, they mainly come down to decisions and
And heck, Bionic you can finish Bionic Heroes in like less than 2 hours.
yeah. Ah! My arm just cracked. I don't know why my arm is hurting. And ow.
Yeah.
Nabel, of course, is the location that we're in right now.
Mm-hmm. But it's a disappointment because well, it's a good game.
What, Bionicle Heroes?
Yeah.
Yeah. The game, like, it lacks in terms of story. The gameplay's fine nonetheless. It was crunched on development anyways. The first-person prototype, and of course, the game just struggled by default.
Hmm.
Yeah, remember how a large majority of the game's mechanics and content were unused?
Yeah.
Yeah. You read the dialogue, right? You never read the dialogue.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, make sure to read it, because once the character audio finishes, that's when I'm progressing the dialogue.
Hmm.
Once again, rewatch the vid once it's done. When it uploads.
Yeah. Anyways, what I also want to say that both Spyro and Crash Original Trilogy, once you like beat outer levels, there's not much menu of the replayability. What also sucks.
Okay, I found some weird jank. Just... Okay. I never noticed that on my playthrough.
Did you hear what I said, right?
Yes, I did. Once you pretty much finish the game, there isn't much left.
Yeah.
Left that you can do in terms of what the game has to offer.
Yeah, what is mostly like stuck on most of the games. Compared like example on the Skyrim, even when you beat a main story, you can there is still a lot of stuff you can do in that game.
Yeah.
Example doing some missions for the other factions or like do side quests and so on, or explore dungeons you find in the open world.
Yeah. But for Ori in particular... Anyways, what I was going to say was, before I was rudely interrupted, is, like, for the Ori games in particular, mainly when most of it comes down to the story.
Yeah.
While the first game is a little weaker in terms of the gameplay, it makes up for it for story, of course, which is why I love the games. They utilize their story quite well. While the gameplay in the first game is meh, it's fine, it's plausible. Are you shitting me?
You are stuck? Yes, you are stuck.
How did I do? I'm not trying to break the game. How am I breaking it already? I found a weird animation quirk. What? Hello? Hello? I got unstuck. I'm not trying to break the game. How am I breaking it so frequently? I'm not even trying. Might I add? Like, I just want to play the game. And yet I already broke it twice. And also, here's the Metroidvania side of the game kicking in. I need an ability to get up there.
Like up here?
Well, up that mountain there, so I have to go down.
Uh.
Down here. And I did not get hit by that spike. Because I'm a lot more skilled, I probably won't be dying nearly as much as I would normally in my first playthrough. I'll still be saving occasionally. So, yeah.
Did you ever finish any of the game like no death?
Unless... Okay, I know... Okay, I know... Yeah, make sure to read the dialogue when it shows up. Yeah, tell me once you read the dialogue, and then I'll go ahead and tell you.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm not sure if I would count this as cheating. Technically speaking, Gregory's Horror Show, oh Soul Collector, remember how I went down around the very end of the game, but I had an item that automatically revived me? I wouldn't I would technically, I don't know if that counts as cheating, technically. Lee, remember that moment?
Like the proper boss fight?
Well, semi-proper. And then how I went down at the very end, but I had the Angel Herb, which automatically revived me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I would consider that as cheating or something.
Yeah, not sure later.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of left ambiguous, so I'm not sure if I would consider it as a deathless game, but hey, it's certainly something. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and continue with the dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I might as well mention, and when a spirit dies, most of the time, they end up becoming these like spirit trees of sorts.
Yeah.
It's as mentioned by our companion. And
Mm-hmm.
and once again, I still remember this being here.
Yep.
Also, I think as well if I quickly... Also, by the way, when you jump continuously...
Like playing a chosen one, adventuring into fucking upward, collecting power from your ancestors. Why it reminds me the Spyro to New Beginning.
I don't know. Also, I walked into the spike the second you started talking. I knew it was going to happen. My mind would wander off, and then I would get bopped opt for it. I mean, even then... And when you do rewatch my playthrough, by the way... If you do, like, make a combined playthrough, which I recommend you do, for the sake of easier viewing, and then keeping everything consistent, and I do think as well, one half of the vid should be designated completely to Blind Forest, while the other half of the vid is designated to, Will of the Wisps.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly for the sake of consistency.
Yeah.
And also to have a bit of have the game be in canonical order. Also, I believe those actually kind of one-tap you if you get hit by them.
Okay, okay, despite the outer purple glowing, what the fuck you know that on the environment what is a hazard and what is not?
I've learned through experience, and not just in this game, but I've learned a lot of things mainly in terms of how like hazards are depicted by games and such.
Like example, like the outer orange tones, it looks naturally, and I guess it also damages you, right?
Yes, it did because I walked into one. I kind of learned how my mind is more in the mindset of like me knowing things because of how much time I've spent playing games. Like, I can't reach me. He can't reach me, by the way.
And gave up. Oh,
That timing of me collecting it. Anyways, I can go ahead and go back here.
yeah.
I've pretty much memorized the entire map anyways. I know where to go most of the time. But considering how long it's been, my knowledge of the game is rusty, to say the least.
Mm-hmm. Probably. Okay, let's see if you like finish this first level. Like no deaths.
Which I probably will. Well, I'm gonna try and, like, on my first run through this first primary objective of no death. That's probably, considering I've gotten way better at game, way better at, well, everything, as a matter of fact. It's, yeah.
Yeah. I will gonna very suck by that game.
You'll get better at it, I know you will.
I mean, I gonna start to play the Rage Knight trilogy.
Well, like before, you kind of already have a little bit of experience when it comes to the game itself. You play, although in a illegal copy. Ow.
20 years ago.
Yeah. But even then. Okay. Well, that's my first death.
Mm-hmm.
Like before, this game is really difficult. It can be really difficult at times. I'm still probably gonna die plenty, mainly during the escape sequences. But by all means, the game can be really punishing sometimes, especially when it comes to getting hit. This game, Ori is not meant to be a fighter after all in Blind Forest. You're meant to mainly...
Now save state.
You mean create a soul link?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this door. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have enough. I only got 2 after all.
Like, it was 20 years I last time played original Spyro game, so yeah, I don't have any like, don't remember much any coverage about that.
Yeah, and your most recent Spyro games would technically be the Legend of Spyro games anyways.
On the recording of your side, so yeah.
Yeah. But even then, and you'll have a bit of experience in Dawn of the Dragon anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you can tell, I'm pretty sure you would get hit and probably die. I'm pretty sure. Also, the reason, yeah. Also, the reason why the stuff is moving is mainly because of the projectiles that are being fired. Alright, as you can tell, my reaction times are a bit faster on everything, so yeah, I have an easier time reacting and avoiding things as well.
Yeah. Well, that was close. Like,
Yeah.
almost
true deathless, but hey, it's to be expected. I'm going to die a lot. In plenty, and in a lot of games. Once again, Gregory insert Gregory's horror show here.
Yeah. Well, at last, you won't die like a lot compared of to already die.
Yeah.
If you're like, gonna plan in time play that game one day.
I am. Trust me on that. You read the dialogue while we were talking, right?
Yep.
Alright. Once again, and I'll continue the dialogue as soon as the character audio stops. So, yeah. Just waiting to
Sheep?
remind. Yeah, that's the big owl, if you remember, on the first part, on the cutscene that's going to come up.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, gosh.
Mine? Mine?
What's the cutscene?
Mine?
Just watch the freaking cutscene. You mean you read the dialogue when it was playing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And also this, I guess, as well.
Mm-hmm. So the little wheel wisp is the greatly itself.
Yeah, at least a fragment of it. And so, like before, make sure to read the dialogue and take into account the story.
Mm-hmm. Elements of right. Erase the other elements. There it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Burnt? I guess that is a fire, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We're not really on the timer.
Right,
Hmm?
light, water, wind, fire. Where is earth and darkness?
Eh. You're still reading everything, right? While I continue, correct? Right?
Your system were like instantly exit that like out effort that game on series this dialogue.
Yeah. I mean, she mostly tolerates. She's like a little bit more fine with it. I mean, in in Cult of the Lamb, she killed a lot of spiders, and I do mean that. That's it. Yeah.
Alright.
Hey, but you have a good point there.
Spider cave? Nope.
Yep. Okay, I'm going.
I just to exit the game.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to quickly return back to the main menu real quick to do something real quick. So I will meet you back to the game itself once it's working.
Yeah.
So. Also, I'm just noticing this now. My original playthrough has a gold circle around it compared to the white one. And
Because I think the golden like says that you already finished the story.
yes.
Yeah.
Also, there's a unique animation for booting up the game from reloading a save. Also, if you have any big save points you've interacted with, you can fast travel to the others.
All right.
Also, this is the only game where Soul Link exists. So, yeah. You read the dialogue as soon as it popped up, right?
Yeah.
Of course, that's sort of a clue. Of course, standing on it does absolutely nothing. But I remember this. And besides that, I think that's mainly the like, if this is the only instance where that's ever used in the game, by the way. It only happens this one time, and it would have been cool if more. Well, technically, it is used more in a puzzle later in the game.
Yeah.
I just kind of wish that more unique puzzles were included into the game's mechanics, requiring you to utilize the enemies is in a more unique manner. Right, can't break that or that yet. Yeah. Also, that wave that you see that gets released every time I get an ability point does deal damage, and it does a lot of damage, by the way. Usually enough to one-shot most enemies in the game.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, I went the wrong way. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, Auto Spirit is having only three letters names.
Well, most of the time, I do believe as well, canonically, there are spirits with more than 3-letter names. Ori is the most recognizable. I believe once we progress through the game, we'll get to see more, know more about the spirits and their names.
Yeah.
Also, I might as well mention, I rarely use the explosion for combat. Like, I'm not kidding. I don't use it that often. I don't use it to fight enemies. I mainly utilize it as a method for progression.
Like. Do Ori or technically the spirits like lives infinitely or they like age over time?
They do. It's complicated to say the least. I believe that spirits do age. It's just they don't visibly show it. This is kind of clued in a little bit more in terms of Will of the Wisps. I won't spoil it exactly until we get around to replaying Will of the Wisps, and I will go ahead and describe everything involving spirits and their light spirits and their navel spirits / light spirits, navel spirit, the spirit life cycle.
I'm sorry, Ori. My time has come. I'm too old for this. And then die. And then dies and transfer to. And then dies and transfer to the tree.
That makes a good point. I mean, okay, so okay, you know, considering you kind of had a bit of a good point there. Okay, I'm kind of going to dive like. Do you want me to spoil the ending for Will of the Wisps, or do you want me to wait on it until you see it yourself? No, because it's better if you see it yourself instead of me explaining it.
It's up to you. I don't mind. I don't mind spoilers.
Honestly, I will let you see the ending. I won't spoil it for you. Once again, also keep in mind of like the whole story and everything for both games. Once again, I think I can gain.
I knew it is your speed. And so, what the heck did that do?
I don't know. I think it's some kind of clumped up decay. That kind of completely infested a creature. Or in a way.
Spiders.
Yeah.
Baby spiders.
No. Bye!
Wow.
Not really, I'm just kind of like screwing with you. Just drop that into me. Okay, I'm gonna have to like blow that up right there. Also, I like how almost none of the all the platforms are more natural.
Like, what the spider eggs did to you that you must like destroy them?
Also, I want to mention something. Have you noticed how all of the like platforms aren't floating platforms, but they're dangling, other than a set few?
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. It actually adds a bit more to the world itself. Once again, that was a big fall. Damn it! I got destroyed. Oh, I never saved! Alright, let's try again. Yeah, I know about that feeling when you forget to save.
I mean that is kind of too punishable.
Yeah, you gotta. Whenever the Soul Link is ready and you're about to enter a dangerous/difficult area, I recommend immediately placing it down. I might as well mention automatic checkpoints in this game are very rare.
Yeah, like you roll back like almost world level is not fun.
Yeah, and of course, Will of the Wisps does change how checkpoints are way more frequent in that game, and death is way less punishing. And which I do believe works in a blind Will of the Wisp's favor, or a little bit. Does kind of ruin a little bit of the game's difficulty in some of the most of the difficulty in Will of the Wisps.
I mean, you can just stay on that platform or just up there and shoot.
It's not a solid. It's a platform that I can't drop through. Also, you can do backflips, by the way, like this. If you crouch down and then press space, it serves no purpose, but it's there. I mean, you can also kind of do the same thing as well. Oh, when you're running. I mean, it doesn't serve much purpose, but you can do it. Okay.
I still waiting for get Ori to get published.
What?
I still waiting for Ori to get published.
Pub, like fall under like the open stuff,
Like what open stuff?
like where they're like, where they become like I forgot the name of it when like a character's license it expires and they become free, like you free to use anywhere without a license.
Although I'm gonna type it out.
All right, I'll go ahead and quickly progress. I can't go 2 seconds still. I had to say, some of the the earlier abilities are quite useful, especially recoup, as this will allow you to quickly heal if you need to. Useful early game, but kind of mediocre late game. I also might as well mention one of this ability I just got here. I'm gonna drop down. This ability here is good for the early game as it allows you to keep your health up, but not
Yeah.
but late game it's not that useful, especially once you start getting more life cells. I don't have the ability to get up there. You see, like right there, I took damage.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not get lucky with item drops from an enemy. Oh, never mind.
I mean, oh, thanks.
Yeah, and
I
it
mean,
reached.
yeah.
You can say what you're gonna say.
I mean, open to your passive tree.
You mean my ability tree?
Yeah. Not the second one.
Oh, you mean the one on the pause menu?
Yeah, let me see. What is that? Hmm. There is. Okay, I would like add one more skill, but technically makes only the freely float is that it's that only
No,
can like
no,
what?
no round. Jesus, I'm trying to keep the video a normal vid. It is. Gosh, I'm already starting to regret trying to record again. Like, we can't go one vid without without a mention of weirdness. Oh my god. Did I literally guess what you were going to say? I did,
Like
didn't.
where you know me that I can like you know me that I can talk about the inflation and that's for good 10 minutes.
I know. Oh my god. Like, can we go one vid without it occurring? Also, I might as well mention this ability here, the one I'm hovering over, is one of my favorite abilities in the entire freaking game. And when we get it, it's
Also I'm very curious from where get the only the parachute.
you get it later in the game, as it's an actual item instead of an ability you get.
Yeah, but I mean like it like put like the just only like pulls up the parachute from the pocket or how it works.
You couldn't see it, but I just shrugged. Oh my gosh. Like, Ori stops on a dime and takes off at full speed when you start moving. Ow. Dude, when you like press a direction. That way I can get more usage out of it. And I'll go ahead and
Mm-hmm.
yep, I'll go ahead and like go for the life pickup, up in life efficiency, and then I'm probably gonna go ahead and start upgrading.
Why?
Hmm?
Why that icon? One icon looks like. Oh my gosh.
Which one? This one?
Uh, down. This one. Why it looks? Oh my gosh.
What? Wait.
I I would not to mention that. I would not to mention that.
Okay. Okay. You can DM me. You can like, you can mention it in the notes channel. And
Hold on. I can. Hold on. I can just take the screenshot and share it to your Discord DM.
all right. All right. Let me quickly do this real quick.
Yeah. It's down, down, down. This one, yeah. I'm gonna take and
Oh. Okay. You got it. You got the photo, right?
yeah. Yep.
All right.
There you go.
Alright, I'll look at it afterwards.
You can just check it on the tablet.
And my tablet tends to die. I'll go ahead and like I'll look at it afterwards. Also, did you notice whenever Ori bounces on one of the bounce pads, they kind of spin a little?
Yeah.
I like that.
That's from where you get the GIF.
Oh, actually, it's from utilizing my favorite ability when there's nothing that you can use it on.
Ah.
Like, when I get it, I'll show you. Oh, gosh. Yeah. Okay, we're not meant to be there yet because I'm dealing very little damage. So I'm not going to go there.
Yeah, I see that it is getting some sort of the Dark Souls progression, that it's like tells you where to be and where not to be.
Well, it's more
Like,
of a Metroidvania game. It's more like that, how I mentioned.
I mean, you can progress on that level and like try like push forward to that and then like get a great reward that helps you like yeah.
Okay, next time. Okay, next upgrade will go straight to damage. It's because I am dealing very little to the enemies. I just want to mention that. Ah!
Like I don't know what people thought about, but I'm sure that one developer was like kind of horny when created that one passive icon.
Honestly, I don't see anything that would warrant a thought process like that. Just wanted to bring that up. Like I don't see anything like that at all. Like I'm gonna look at it on my tablet now. What you mentioned, and like let me go ahead and like, add something to my throat. I don't see it at all. All for what you mentioned. And it looks more like a light form energy. Mainly because of the lighting, mainly. It looks more...
Like the IRL biology like works exactly like this, like, you know.
That's a good point, but I don't really see it at all. It looks more like a light form of energy combining into one. And also, I'm not even gonna bother asking how I did not get hit by that spike hazard at all.
Like it one-shot you?
I'm pretty sure it just does a lot of damage. Also, I have to push it back this way because I'm on the wrong side of it.
Oh!
Don't worry, I can just heal it because this exists.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so some enemies and some environment deals more than one damage.
Yeah. The only real noteworthy things that can one-hit kill you are usually the crushers.
And then with the maxed defense.
Yeah. As most of the deaths anyways will come down to mainly instant kills from crushers. Okay, I can't jump up there. I have to navigate a little bit more.
I mean, is not your ultimate goal like enter to that portal or what is that on the map?
Reach up there on the map? Yes. Ow.
And
it
you
is.
Did absolutely combat.
Yeah. The game does encourage you to explore. So I'm gonna go ahead and push the... Yeah, I think as well I have to explore a little bit more. Or anyways. Because once I push... Ooh! Oh my goodness, I'm okay, I'm okay.
Like, does this game ever offer you something after you finish the main storyline?
Well, other than going for the rest of the collectibles and other things, not really in terms of what's left in terms of progression, and mainly getting all the upgrades, getting all miscellaneous collectibles, and so forth.
I can barely that just like... Come on, the Crash Over the Mutants is a much older game, and you have after you finish the story, you can do like some side of quest, example like unlock out the hero titans.
Yeah. But this is mainly because Ori and the Blind Forest story, there isn't much after the story anyways. Once you beat the game's main story, there isn't much. There's no additional side quests and stuff.
Yeah, that was mostly sucks on that most of the games. Like after you beat the main story, there is nothing what to do left.
Yeah, but for here though, it kind of makes sense in terms of like a story reasons. Also, how am I not dead?
I don't know.
Oh wait, hold on. I have to navigate another way around. Ouch! Like, despite like Crash of the Titans and what you brought up, for
like there's no mutants.
yeah, Mind Over Mutants.
Yeah.
The reason why... Okay, there's one more left. Like, for Ori and the Blind Forest in particular, both games are mainly story-focused, alongside their gameplay as well. Both games usually follow a more linear story, especially to this game in particular.
And that is why there should be more games, but it's like 49 universes.
Which I haven't made yet. For one, that game is still very, very ambiguous. It's a massive game. And for one, when I learn how to make a game, I want to make sure the game is perfect. I want to make sure I get everything right. I make the story feel proper, and everything in particular functioning well perfectly. I don't want to fuck up when it comes to my big main project. For one, I want to avoid with what most AAA games are doing nowadays.
But I'm sure you're gonna create a location in 49 Universe that be called Nibel.
Well, once again, well, I just nuked that enemy off screen from over there. Anyways, like, okay, when I make 49's universes, I want to make sure I don't mess up. The game is meant to mainly shed a lot of light and also, cross over with plenty of other games and a few movies occasionally of just the games and IPs I like.
Yeah.
Like, not just for events, but something a part of the world itself. For one, I want to make it where people, like, although I wouldn't really as while there are plenty of games that usually cross over with other IPs, Mario and Sonic, the Olympic Games, not count with Mario and Sonic, of course. They're more in particular their own really independent stories. In Fournian's universes, while they're all their own independent stories, I want the game's worlds to feel like you're exploring the world in their own way, but not playing as the main characters. If I ever create the world of Ori, cross over with Moon Studios and bring Ori into the new light, like, there's a few problems that I'll end up encountering. For one, I would like to mention that while the size of the world is ambiguous to say the least, is people will believe, canonically speaking, Ori is roughly around the size of a chipmunk or a squirrel. We never see any larger characters. The largest characters that we ever end up entering would either be the Spirit Trees and Kuro and Shriek. Both of these characters we end up encountering, sure, but we don't see much. But we don't really see any characters that are larger than them. Meaning, when it comes to Ori, I'm going to have to try and make some altercations to make the world make sense in terms of the world.
I mean, for the Ori levels or for the Ori world, I mean, what you can do is like create a Nibel, like recreate a Nibel like more open world.
Yeah. Like, I might as well...
Instead of be like linear and split to the like many level sectors.
I know, this game is meant to be more of a Metroidvania, and what you mentioned anyways is kind of true for Ori and the Will of the Wisps. That game is much more open. You can go... While it still follows a semi-linear story, almost all of the main missions can be done in any order you want. Meaning you can fight some bosses over others, as a matter of fact. I also might as well mention, once I manage to figure out how to learn the code, I'm planning on making A Land Free from Darkness into an actual game. with some additional lore and story moments that didn't get mentioned in the actual game. For one, it's going to be a 3D game, while I will, as I want to mainly give the game version of A Land Free from Darkness a sort of soft Legend of Zelda styled game.
So, and let me guess, the name of the Road of Darkness is Amaris?
Well, consider. Okay, in A Land Free from Darkness, this story was created way before Malice was even a thing. But don't get me wrong, I'm planning on making a few other stories. For one, the sequel to A Land Free from Darkness is appropriately going to be named A Land Trapped in Darkness, acting as sort of a continuation of the story, following Mana within a land completely corrupted by a different iteration of the Lord of Darkness. I'm still planning on having Malice show up, but I'm unsure how. Malice is a big antagonist, but like before, I have no idea how I'm going to handle him. For one,
Creepypasta?
well, not really. Malice in particular is going to be a lot more experimental. I'm gonna go ahead and keep playing the game while I continue to talk.
Yeah.
When it comes to like how I plan on handling everything, and I don't want to screw up on my game, on my main project. After all, like I've mentioned, Coden's Universe is going to be my main project. It's going to be the biggest game I'm going to make, and it's going to receive most of the attention in terms of updates. It's a lot of the other smaller games, example Land Free from Darkness, the game version of it, will receive updates, but it's mostly just patching glitches and making the game more stable as well.
Well, if you need help with that project, that you can reach me. But I am not a programmer, just want to bring it up.
I know. Once I end up getting a functional prototype ready, I'm going to send you the prototype itself so you can play through it.
Yeah. Like I won't help you with like any sort of the coding and so on. But like example like build like simply enter the game and build some structures. I can do that.
Well, even then, A Land Free from Darkness, the game iteration, is more particularly going to follow the story. Okay, I just got one tapped. Okay, what I was going to say before I got blown up, I want to mention real quick that A Land Free from Darkness, considering the game version of it, is going to follow the story as closely as it can. And while it does fill in a lot of the plot holes that the original story did not mention. For example, one of the things that gets mentioned, almost every single one of the new characters that appear in the story once it gets done, are all, well, going to be mainly original. Anyways. For one, there's already an original character that was made for the story. Anyways, as he ends up serving quite a bit of a big part of the story. Anyways.
Yeah.
Is due to him having such a big role in the story, his story mostly doesn't exactly get explained that well. I'm gonna have to also quickly do this.
Oh, you think you're having different color now?
Well, it's because I'm in a different area.
Ah,
Plus, I need to bait this guy. And slamming into the wall. This is, of course, a late game area.
Wow.
Yeah, this area is a late game one, and I need to, and plus, I need to kinda, because
And you
there's,
missed.
yeah, there's an ability I need to get it in order to progress here. I also might as well mention, these guys are invulnerable, they don't take damage.
And when you fully maxed out.
Well, there are a few ways of defeating those guys, I might as well mention, but by all means... I sequence braked? How on earth did I just sequence break like that?
Just create the portal for be sure. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Okay. Hey, how do I keep breaking everything? How? Oh, okay. Like, how do I keep breaking stuff occasionally? Oop, I just got obliterated. Like, usually when I play a game, I'm usually not able to break games so hard sometimes. I can't believe I sort of sequence braked. Yeah, I need an ability if I want to progress through there. Like,
I mean, is ever possible I skip a boss here?
You mean escape sequences? As remember, there's no boss fights in this game.
Yeah, I mean, they're taking like skip like 1 or 2 levels and like read and yeah.
I'm pretty sure it is, but like before, I'm no expert. I'm no speedrunner, so I'm not sure. I'm dying.
Technically, like some sort of shenanigans and
I'm dying
glitches
a
or
lot.
of the break sequence like you did. You're gonna like skip 2 or 3 levels and you reach the area and escape sequence where you shouldn't supposed to be here.
Yeah, I'm also...
If it's a possibility.
It is possible to sequence break in this game. It's possible to beat Will of the Wisps literally in this as soon as you finish the prologue.
Really?
Yes, people have done it. In fact, look up Ori and the Blind Forest and Will of the Wisps speedruns after I finish the game, and you can see people manage to beat the game very quickly.
Huh.
I guess I might as well mention the reason why these are able to be done. And in the first place, the main reason is mainly because when it comes to Blind Forest and Will of the Wisps triggers, they're still active even if the area is not loaded in. And meaning, effectively, if positioned right, you can effectively break an entire sequence, and skip large portions of the game. Because, might I add, way out of bounds happens to be the ending of the game of Will of the Wisps. As effectively, if you're able to, you can just beat the game in one go by simply glitching out of bounds. I also need to find... Okay, so... right now, I need to look around. I need an extra energy source if I want to open up those doors. Considering in terms of logistics for the game, if you're not speedrunning the game, the story is amazing. And while the gameplay for Blind Forest is a little on the weaker side of things, it's plausible. Ori isn't meant to be a fighter. Either in terms of this point in the game's in both games' stories. So you're mostly encouraged to avoid enemies if possible. This is why that starting fight is the only mandatory fight in the game.
Yeah.
It's meant to be a soft combat tutorial. As the game's combat isn't really the game's strong suit after all. Like I mentioned, Ori isn't a fighter by any means, as that would promptly demonstrate. Ori is frail. Oh, died again.
What did you mention that you do not die a lot?
Damage numbers are high. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Like, when it comes to how the story unfolds from both Blind Forest and Will of the Wisps, in Blind Forest, Ori isn't a fighter. They don't know their true powers yet. And due to this, Ori is much more vulnerable, more frail. And a lot less capable of defending themselves. This isn't so much the case later in the game, of course. In Will of the Wisps. In Will of the Wisps, Ori is much more capable of defending themselves. They don't need scene anymore.
Yeah.
Almost died again. I still got sniped anyways. Is due to this reasoning, in the differences between Ori's movement, combat options for Will of the Wisps is very noticeable.
Yeah.
I might as well mention anyways. Ori's moveset in particular does kind of reference a little bit about Ori as a character. In Blind Fight, Ori's base moveset without runes, it definitely kind of showcases this. Ori is fast, and while Scene is here to help out, Ori is more than capable of utilizing combos, quick movement, and generally being a very difficult character to keep up with, because Ori is one of the fastest characters in the game. Like, really fast. While I haven't done enough experimenting or examining yet, I presume Ori is one of the fastest characters in the game. I also have to fast travel. Real quick.
Yeah.
I never actually saw that text before. You cannot soul link on spirit wells.
Cool.
Yeah. because like I mentioned already how Ori isn't that much of a fighter in terms of this game's timeline. And this kind of definitely shows with how different the game is.
Mm-hmm.
Ori's lack of combat options does definitely show in this game. And the only real direct combat options that Ori gets, it's as there's only two, which I will showcase as soon as I get them, of course.
Yeah.
As you can see early on, right now, I only have Seer to work with.
Also, that is the Kuro children.
They're more like decay birds, creatures associated, birds with decay. I also died. Aid. I'm gonna find. Okay, I'm gonna take this route downwards to find another way around. Okay, I can probably fast travel down here. Yeah. Considering I have a way up here. Oh, hey, look, lore. You're still reading the dialogue whenever it shows up, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh, there's more of them.
Yeah. Okay, I might as well...
Mm-hmm.
letting it...
Yep. Yep.
Okay, so let me go ahead and mention something. This little sequence and those cutscenes are exclusive to this game. They don't exist in Blind Forest.
Wow.
Yeah. Along with that, the ability tree for the classic version of Blind Forest is much smaller.
What is how is character species? Just wondering.
What? Narrow species?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Black loot.
Once again, this is the designated dark area. Ow. Ah!
I thought you glowing. Okay, not so much.
Okay. Oh wait, does that mean I have to sit through the cutscene again? Yeah. I'll just speed through it because we already seen it. Okay. Hey, so considering that this cutscene here is exclusive to the definitive edition of Ori and the Blind Forest, if you were to get both Ori and the Blind Forest and Will of the Wisps, I highly recommend playing the definitive edition. It's the way to play it. It is it's the best way to play it, to understand the story for Ori, and also get more of the gameplay as well out of the way. Difficulty aside, the occasional difficulty he spikes aside, most of the game's difficulty anyways comes from just not if you play too aggressively, mainly.
Yeah.
Ori, after all, isn't meant to be a fighter. Meaning, if you're going to go fight an enemy, it's best to find another. it's honestly the best bet to just avoid fighting them if possible. And I'm dead again.
How
And
many times you died this time?
so far, I've died 17 times. Most of them due to me not really remembering that much.
You probably see anything even when you're going.
Yeah, this area is one of the darker locations in the game. You can't really see that much. You're meant to mostly take this map area a little slower and navigate a bit more carefully. And not do what I just did there. Yeah, Blackroot is one of the more difficult locations to navigate. Just because of the lack of light, visibility mainly. Visibility...
Like how you want to make a go to the back road without dying.
It mostly comes down to memorization. And if you remember, I'm dying. I need to, okay, as soon as I get there and get dropped down, I'm creating a save. Like, by most means, you usually won't really fight that many enemies anyways. There's no mandatory fights in the game after that first encounter.
Yeah.
Also, I can't create a soul link while I'm in an unsafe zone. Most of the Blackroot burrow mainly comes down to feeling around. And then taking things a bit slowly. So, most of my deaths came down to me rushing or going too quickly. And almost getting murked by an enemy, might I add. Still reading the dialogue?
Yep. Yep.
Yep. And I got shoved off the ledge. I'm gonna create a soul link right here. This location isn't really much of a pace killer anyways. You're meant to take it slow here anyways, because this is a dark location. You can't see that much anyways.
Yeah.
Along with that, Ori doesn't move nearly as fast when you're carrying it as well. Which I'm not sure if I brought up on my original playthrough. From 2 years ago. If I did, feel free to remind me in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
There. Yeah, did you see how the shockwave killed the enemy?
Yeah.
There we go. I'll get the Ultramagnic next. Can't get these yet. Until I progress further. Okay, that one was just on me. Oh wait, I can't create a soul link here. I do like how the game is kind enough to let you know you can't create soul links, okay, in certain locations.
Mm-hmm. Green.
Well, more particularly flames that will instantly obliterate me. As soon as I say it, as soon as I say it. I wouldn't exactly call this area much of a pace killer, and I'm dead again. I wouldn't really call Blackroot as much of a pace killer, but I'm pretty sure as well, this area has probably killed a few speedruns that go for 100% completion. I did it again.
I never will thought think about that the friends can do something like this.
Well, it's more like statues in particular. Ah! I just fell. Quite a mile ways down, so it's probably better if I just die.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully as well, once we progress far enough through here, later, okay, so eventually we'll be able to set this thing down and actually not have to worry about carrying it around anymore.
Yeah.
Which is quite nice.
Yeah, I just noticed that Ori technically do nothing. I was not doing auto jump for you.
Well, even then, Scene doesn't have any body, really. So, yeah. So in terms of logistics, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
And even then, and Scene was used to fuck. Comes back. I do like how I don't know why, like, a lot of games usually don't have where the key item you're meant to carry doesn't come back to you automatically. Like, I understand for certain instances, it makes it works.
Mm-hmm.
Did it again. And anyways, I might as well talk a little bit more about Land Free from Darkness. The mana that you see here isn't exactly the same mana and that appears in every other instance. And it's a separate character.
Oh.
Yeah, just waiting to confirm something that you might have been thinking of. They are completely unrelated.
So auto stuff like absorbing the spirits and then go be big. It's like not doing that.
What, you mean utilizing the stray magic in the air / living magic for mana? From Land Free from Darkness? Hello?
Yeah, just reading the dialogue.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay, like, okay, you did hear what I said, right?
Yeah, and then like absorb the magic and then like inflate.
Yeah, of course, that one doesn't exist in the Land Free from Darkness version of mana. As I might as well mention, almost whenever, I'm always more experimenting towards my characters. Is the mana that, the Ori that appears here is very different to the one that you have. And while the Knights, and same thing with mana as well, mana in-game, in both the cutscenes and in the game itself, in Land Free from Darkness, while they look identical, the mana that we're seeing is completely unrelated. The same thing with seeing in some of the other more miscellaneous characters like Sakura, because she also shows up, but doesn't appear as a spirit. As most references to most of our other characters doesn't show up, like, at all. They don't get referenced in store or anything,
Ah.
as they're more of a separate iteration. As might I add, the version of the Lord of Darkness we're seeing in Land Free from Darkness is an entirely different beast, compared to the one that is seen everywhere else. So yeah, just wanting to bring that up.
Mm-hmm. Eki.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
He didn't know the way.
Don't be funny when the game's like trying to be serious, you know?
Yeah.
And like, jeez. Also, I just noticed special leaves appear on the tree when you interact with them. Dash.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't have air dash because I have to unlock an ability for it. But now that this place is fully lit up,
Finally.
yeah.
And also mushrooms.
Yep.
Secret
If you're wondering, yes, that can crush you.
secret of my success. You really have to play that.
What?
Secret of my success. Secret of my success.
I don't even know what that is.
One of the NPC you're gonna interact a lot into let it die.
Oh, I'm dead. I forgot that exists. How long have I been recording for? About an hour. Roughly about an hour.
Yeah. She gonna cook you mushrooms and she gonna say this is secret of my success, and when you're gonna like eat eat the mushroom soup, then you get like little dizzy and then look at then you get into like the plate and then oh, a sticker.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's called a decals, but yeah, decals is like very much boost up your character.
Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and like end this one off here. Okay?
Yeah.
Yep. So,
So goodbye.
yep. Anyways, thanks for watching now. Bye bye.
Yeah, and I'm Spyro. Just want to bring it up.
Yep.
Not
Yep.
Cinder. Much.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.